Hello, my name is Pedro Villalpando, and this is my body mapping through the concept we explored during the course. To talk about intersectionality, I like to start with by the feet, where we can find una cuna de oro, which is shaped by the stereotype of an idyllic and utopian life, a traditional and functional family, a home that satisfies pleasures beyond necessities, a quality education, extravagant cultural and social opportunities, and of course, a comfortable economic position. Understanding this comfortable position, represented by La Cuna de Oro, is essential to interpret the body. A body that, beyond being on the physical plane, transcends to a spiritual, almost onirico plane. It is a body limited and bruised by introspection, insecurity, and uncertainty. Starting at the bottom, we find a flat foot, a condition I was born with, and despite having been treated and fixed promptly, it is a situation that left a prejudicial and limiting mark on the activities I could or believe I could or could not do. We move up the legs, where we begin to find abundant hair that extends to the chest and covers most of the body. This hair, beyond being an aesthetic or anti-aesthetic detail, is a reminder of representation of the belief and sense of belonging to masculinity. A reaffirmation of the gender that represents my sexuality and the character I must maintain. A reminder of the behaviors that represent an hegemonic masculinity, because I was taught to do so this way. So accepting this hair as part of my being and rejecting any hair removal practice that violates it and my masculinity. Now we led directly to the head, where we find this limitation, these bars that are reflected also in the hands without any fingers. But what do I mean by this limitation if I start talking with this cuna de oro concept? No, so I'm going to speak about these limitations that are included inside the expectations imposed by family members, or even sometimes by oneself. So this is the prison that represents the freedom of choosing whatever I want to do with my life. So when you find yourself in this kind of position represented by La Cuna de Oro, you have this necessity or this expectation of being better than the one's predecessor. So you need to redefine the concept of success. So this economic status allows me to be whatever I want, but the expectations that are imposed limit me only to be a better person, but not in a human way. So now we can look at this wrist, where we find a watch by the phrase "El tiempo es oro." So if the money ceases to have any value, the only thing we have left is time. But if we only have time to be better, and our heads are in the clouds, as we see in the part above, I'm always living. I'm always imagining who I am instead of actually being. So I'm always late, where I'm always late to be in the places I need to be. So we go back to the head and we find this silhouette of a Mayan painting, and it reflects my main ethnic origin. So it hurts to admit it, but it is the first and perhaps the only intersectional limitation, because these Mayan features, although they have gradually disappeared from generation to generation, are present in my physical appearance, and they move away from this hegemonic, beautiful, accepted by society, reducing all my background, all my education, all my knowledge into another phase. No, so I guess that's one of the points that racism touches, that this intersectionality touches, because it's just a limit in comparison with other people that may have quite the same life as me, but with different hair color or skin color. So moving to the next feature, we can find around my neck a rosary that, more than a test of my faith, is a performative act that governs my behavior and my corporeal practices. No, so I cross myself to be closer to God when I don't really feel like I am. It's a disguise to fit into a society which I supposedly belong, and it's a superstition I carry with pride, like an unfaithful husband holds his wife's hand. So I want to close talking about my sexuality and the things it represents to me, because I'm an heterosexual cisgender man. I really enjoy this sexuality, you know. So in my mouth we can find cuts and wounds. These wounds are what prevent the pain from reaching the heart, since the lips tends to kiss without love and passion, based solely on physical desire, with a certain social undertone. So every girl I've kissed, more than a girl, is a trophy. No, you know, she's a choice. I exercise this sexuality in a way that moves away from the concept of any intimacy. So I talk for the sake of talking, I kiss for the sake of kissing. I do feel my circle is responsible for reminding me that a kiss is an act of aggrandizement rather than a gift of love. It reminds me of what I am capable of, when being capable represents the very capacity to do but not feel. The same capacity to do and not feel limits wanting, and wanting clashes with not any feeling. You know, no feeling limits this intimacy, and that's why I lock my heart in a safe and hide the intimacy of my sexuality. I live a life afraid of feeling, but not a sexual life without any intimacy. That was all, and that was my body mapping.